Hi, my dear students, how are you? Welcome to the session. In this video, we are going to solve a lot of questions based on antonyms, which we also call opposites, right? My name is Juhi Narula, and let's get started. So, what are we going to do? We are going to have a list of 5 to 6 questions on the screen, and I'm going to give you good 1 to 2 minutes to attempt all these questions, and then we'll discuss them together, right? So, what is very important to solve antonym questions or synonym questions or analogies or one word substitution is to have a great vocabulary, right? So we have already discussed a lot of innovative methods to discuss and enhance vocabulary. So you are requested to work rigorously, regularly, and ensure that you are making, a move ahead every time, right? Every day you are adding at least, if not more, 15 to 20 words in your kitty, right? So this is very, very important. In fact, vocabulary learning is a lifelong process. Everybody learns. So it's not that you are an exception. Please ensure that you're putting sufficient energy and sufficient amount so that you are progressing ahead, right? So on this amazing note, let's begin. You have 6 questions on the screen. You have 2 minutes to try these questions and then we will discuss. Right, so let's get started. Let's take a look at the first question on the screen, which is withdraw. So withdraw is going backward or moving away. Right, so the army is withdrawing the forces. मतलब forces हटा रही है. Opposite क्या हो जाएगा? Advance करना, आगे बढ़ना. Right. So advance is what? Moving ahead. So if we see what would be the best match. So moving ahead. Right, and this will be withdraw is going back. Okay, so the best match, we are looking for opposite, so please keep this in mind. Don't get confused. This is the common mistake students do. क्वेश्चन को मिस कर देते हैं, सिनोनिम की जगह एंटोनिम मार्क कराते हैं या एंटोनिम की जगह सिनोनिम मार्क कराते हैं. तो ये गलती आप प्लीज मत करिएगा. ध्यान रखिए क्वेश्चन क्या पूछ रहा है. दिस इज वेरी वेरी क्रूशियल, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट? सो सीक्रेट इज समथिंग विच इज हिडन, जो आप छुप कर करते हो. तो फ्रेंडली नहीं हो सकता, राइट? हिडन सिनोनिम है तो ये भी नहीं हो सकता. कोवर्ट भी सिनोनिम है. ओवर्ट होता है यू डू ओपनली, राइट? सबको दिखा के. सो कोवर्ट ऑपरेशन था. यू मस्ट हैव सीन अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स आर्मी ऑपरेशंस आर कोवर्ट. सो कोवर्ट ऑपरेशन means something which is hidden. So covert or overt, these are synonyms and these are antonyms to each other. So covert is secret and overt is open, right? So students do get confused between overt and covert, so keep this in mind. Cover, देखो जैसे मैं आपको कहती हूँ, there are a lot of kangaroo words, तो ये भी है. Covert is covered, okay, something which is hidden. So that's how you can relate well, right? So I think now you're not going to forget this. So now let's come to question number 3. Heartfelt मतलब दिल से. So this is my heartfelt thank you to my teachers for teaching me so well that I could get selected in the exam, right? So humorous is funny, तो वो तो मैच नहीं करता. Unhealthy मैच नहीं करता. Loving नहीं, insincere, that means I'm not feeling दिल से, right? I'm just trying to superficially show, or I'm not sincere. Okay, so not sincere, that's how you can write it. So for question number 1, just to ensure the correct answer, C. D for question number 2, and B for question number 3. So you need to see the closest one which can work as an opposite, or the closest one which can act as a synonym. Now this is very very crucial. अगर आप closest पे काम नहीं करोगे तो आप फंस जाओगे, right? So this is my earnest suggestion to you. Closest पे काम करो. इम्पार्शियल कौन सा होता है? ऑनेस्ट, राइट? तो ऑपोजिट. सो इम्पार्शियल है ऑनेस्ट, मतलब किसी के प्रति भेदभाव नहीं है. हॉस्टाइल होता है व्हेन यू आर अग्रेसिव, राइट? हॉस्टाइल कैरेक्टर है, अग्रेसिव पर्सनालिटी है, राइट? डिसलाइक तो आपको पता ही है, वरिड आपको पता है, बायस्ड हो जाएगा. तो जो इम्पार्शियल है मतलब किसी की तरफ झुका हुआ नहीं है, बायस्ड मतलब जो किसी के प्रति झुका हुआ, राइट? इसका बायस्ड का ऑपोजिट हम अनबायस्ड भी कहते हैं, राइट? हम अनबायस्ड या इम्पार्शियल का पार्शियल भी हो जाएगा, इफ यू वांट टू ऐड दीज टू वर्ड्स मोर टू द डिस्कशन, राइट? सो कमिंग टू सी, ल्यूमिनस इज ब्राइट. ओके, ल्यूमिनस लाइट्स का ऐड करते हैं सचिन तेंदुलकर, राइट? सो ब्राइट क्लियर नहीं हो सकता. ब्रिटल इजी टू ब्रेक होता है. ओके, इजी टू ब्रेक, जो आसानी से टूट जाए. तो डिम विल बेस्ट मैच. सो फॉर फिफ्थ वील गो फॉर बी एज एन आंसर, राइट? नाउ व्हाट इज ऑ? ऑ इज एन एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ अप्रिसिएशन. राइट? सो शैलो तो जो कम गहरा हो गया, लो कम, बोरो उधार लेना. सो कंटेम्प्ट, राइट? अप्रिसिएशन का ऑपोजिट है कंटेम्प्ट, जब आप किसी को पसंद नहीं कर रहे और अपनी नापसंद जाहिर कर रहे हो, या आप कह रहे हो कि आई डोंट लाइक यू, राइट? सो दैट सॉर्ट ऑफ एन एक्सप्रेशन. सो आई एम श्योर वी आर क्लियर विद ऑल दीज 6 क्वेश्चंस. जस्ट टू रिवाइज, लेट मी टेल यू द आंसर्स अगेन. विड्रॉ का मतलब होता है पीछे की तरफ जाना. आर्मी ने अपनी फोर्सेस को विड्रॉ कर लिया, एडवांस की तरफ आगे बढ़ना. सीक्रेट का मतलब छुपा हुआ, ओवर्ट का मतलब ओपन. हार्टफेल्ट मतलब दिल से. इनसिंसियर इसका ऑपोजिट हो जाएगा. इम्पार्शियल मतलब आप ऑनेस्ट हो, आप किसी के प्रति झुके हुए नहीं हो, राइट? पार्शियल नहीं हो. सो ऑपोजिट विल बी बायस्ड, राइट? ल्यूमिनस इज ब्राइट, ऑपोजिट हो जाएगा डिम, विच इज डल, जहाँ पे कम रोशनी हो, राइट? डिम लाइट जगाते हैं रात को सोते हो. सो दैट सॉर्ट ऑफ अ मीनिंग. एंड ओ का मतलब होता है यू नो, जैसे ओ दैट्स सच अ अमेजिंग जॉब. So an expression of appreciation, right? So the opposite will be contempt, right? So you can write the meanings, forward over zarur likh lijiye. You might just get confused again on any word which you didn't know the meaning or something that you found important. Please take 30 seconds and write it, and then we move to the next set. So let's move to the next set. Please try this, then we will discuss. Yeah, so let's try. So malodorous. So odor is smell. Okay, so odor is smell. So when we talk mal, so it makes the word opposite. So malodorous is where the smell is bad. All right. So the opposite will be a nice fresh smell, so fragrant. C will fit in. Delicious is tasty, right? A delicious meal. Pungent smell hota है something which is very sharp. Okay, so sharp. And acrid is bitter. So there is this root AC which means bitter, right? So acerbic, acrid, acidic. These are all words that refer to bitterness or sharpness. You must have studied acids and bases in the school, right? So AC root stands for that, right? So the correct answer that we are going to pick up would be C for question number 7, right? So I'm sure we are clear with this. Please keep this in mind that whenever we talk about AC root, that is something that is negative or bitter, right? So please note it down. It's a very important root and you'll get acrimonious. Just say another word that I wanted to teach you. Acrimonious. So acrimonious means तुम्हें enemy type की feeling है, right? Enmity. ENMITY. So it comes from the word enemy, right? So आपको bitterness है. So AC root is something which is very very important. तो इसका ध्यान रखो, right? I'm sure you've got it. चलो. So next is expound. Expound is to explain. So just note it down and I'll rub it. There's a lot of confusion otherwise on the screen. So just note it down for a while and meanwhile I'll just clean the board so that it becomes slightly more, readable. Right, so we'll write the answer again just so that it stays the flagrant. So expound is to explain. Okay, so I hope if you have got it. So the opposite will जब आप ढंग से explain करें, opposite क्या हो जाएगा? Confuse करना. So B will be the answer. Condemn करना आप समझते हैं? Condemn करना होता है भतर्सना करना, किसी का निंदा करना. You are basically trying to complain or reject somebody's idea, right? So you are not liking the idea much, and so if there is any attack, any terrorist attack, तो उसको condemn करते हैं, उसकी कड़ी निंदा करना, right? So rejecting it entirely. So that's confine करना हो जाएगा limit करना. So the child was confined to the play area, right? Now when we talk about besmirch का मतलब होता है damage करना. Might be a new word to you. So the best match that will fit in will be B. तो expound का मतलब है explain करना. तो opposite क्या हो जाएगा? Confuse करना. Confine है limit करना, right? और besmirch है damage करना. Condemn है कड़ी निंदा करना, right? So to you are criticizing something severely, right? So pick is irritate. इसका क्या मतलब होता है? Irritate करना, right? So the opposite will be soothe. Soothe का मतलब होगा calm down करना. Placate करना is another word, right? Soothe करना, relax करना, right? Tranquil is another word, right? Which is associated with calmness or bringing peace. Smooth, soft, right? Value, you know it, right? So abate का मतलब क्या होगा? Abate का मतलब होता है to make less intense. To make less intense, right? So you take a look at the answer choices. So आपकी suppose somebody is in trouble and you are trying to make things better. Opposite क्या हो जाएगा? Provoke करना. Provoke करना क्या होता है? Excite करना, right? Augment is attach, right? Wax and wane, जैसे wave wax and wane करती है, ऊपर जाती है और नीचे आती है, right? So I'm sure we are clear till question number 10. Now let's come to dearth. Dearth is scarcity. Scarcity मतलब कमी होना, lack. So ये synonym है. Opposite क्या हो जाएगा? Abundance. Poverty is being in a state of being poor, right? Foreign outside हो जाएगा, right? Now let's come to peaked. Peaked के दो मीनिंग होते हैं. तो मैंने आपको एक important advice देनी है कि जब भी आप words सीख रहे हो, so try to learn all the meanings. That will really be beneficial. So this is the peak, right? So other peak also means that when you are ill, when you are not well, that also is a peak. So tired to match nahi karega. Arrogant hota hai when you are too uh, you know uh, we having too much pride, right? So rudy is when you are you're in a state of absolute goodness. Okay, in a state of absolute goodness. Okay, so we'll go for D as an answer. Right, so I'm sure we are clear with these sets. So before we proceed ahead, any word that's new to you, something that you do not know, please write it down so that you are sorted. So I'm sure you have written down the words. Time to move to the next set. Please try this, then we will discuss. So let's discuss. So when we talk about this word pit, now sir, pit is a gadda. Okay, pit also means to set against. So this is where I always tell my students that you should know all the meanings, because gadda se you will not be able to get it, right? So set against the opposite ko jayega. You are trying to bring people together, group. Okay. Rotund is round. जब आप plump होते हो, मोटे होते हो, तो आपको लोग कहते हैं कि आप rotund हो, right? Plump. So the opposite will be thin. So this is again a kangaroo word. The meaning is in the word itself. So round. Okay. So come to talent. Talent is skill, right? So the opposite will be inability. Okay. Ungrateful, where you are, not thankful for what you have. So grateful hona hota hai thankful hona, right? So grateful is when you are thankful. Ungrateful will be the opposite. Common, which is known, right? So the best match will be what? Strange, which is not known. Uneasy, quick, fast, आपके meanings आपको पता है. Brazen होता है very rude, निर्लज जिसको बोलते हैं ना, somebody who's बेशरम, जिसको कोई तरीका नहीं है बात करने का. Opposite would be bashful. So bashful is a person who's shy, या जिसको आप संकोची कहोगे, जो सोच समझ के कम बोले, right? So A will be the best match. Noisy, a person who makes a lot of noise. Boisterous is again sort of arrogant. राइट. एक्सेप्ट करने का मतलब होता है आपने स्वीकार कर लिया. द ऑपोजिट वुड बी यू आर लोथिंग इट, यू आर हेटिंग इट, मतलब आप स्वीकार नहीं कर रहे हो. डिस्पेयर होपलेसनेस है. अटेंड करना आप जानते ही हो. रिग्रेट होता है जब आप कोई गलती कर देते हो और आपको उसका पछतावा होता है. सो राइट, सो द रिग्रेट वुड बी पछतावा. So I'm sure we are clear with all the sets, right? So let me just tell you the meanings again. For 13, pit is to set again. So the opposite will be you're grouping it together. So for 13, the answer is going to be A. Rodent is round, plump, healthy, mota. C. Talent का मतलब skill होना है. Opposite क्या हो जाएगा? Unskill होना. Common जिसको सब जानते हैं, which is known. The opposite will be strange. ब्रेजन का मतलब होता है रूड होना, निर्लज होना, राइट. और ऑपोजिट विल बी बैशफुल. एंड एक्सेप्ट करने का मतलब होता है स्वीकार करना. लोथ का मतलब हेट करना, मतलब आप स्वीकार नहीं रहे हो. सो नीड टू सी विच आंसर चॉइस इज क्लोजली फिटिंग इन द क्राइटेरिया, राइट. So let's move to the next set. Please try this. I'll give you 2 minutes and we'll discuss. Right, so we can begin the discussion. Abridge is to cut short. Okay, so shorten करना would be the synonym. So the opposite will be what? Extend कर देना. Extend मतलब elaborate करना, बढ़ा देना, right? Stress under pressure हो गया, easy, you know it, right? So B will be the right answer. Don't forget we are looking for antonyms. Kindle, kindle the romance. So kindle मतलब bring in, right? So the opposite will be discouraged, right? Detest is to hate. Smoother is to make soft. So the best choice will be D. Meager is less. So he gets a meager salary. That means very little, less. Okay, not enough. Not enough or sufficient. Okay, insufficient rather you can say. Insufficient, right? So kind, generous would be large-hearted, thoughtful, a person who thinks about you. Copious is abundant. Okay, abundant, plenty, right? Enough, sufficient. All these will act as synonyms, right? So I'm sure we are clear here. Philistine is a very interesting word. Philistine का मतलब होता है you are not attracted or you are not having enough intelligence to understand arts, right? So the opposite will be intellectual. Pious is pure, okay, and debutante is a beginner, something whose novice is again new, okay. So that's how we'll go for B as an answer, right? So you can write the meaning of Philistine. Philistine is a person who's not very attracted or understanding of the art. Okay, so that's how you'll explain Philistine, a new term. But see, at times this will happen to you. You might encounter some new terms that you are not aware, and that is the reason I always ask my students that you should put sufficient effort to know the meanings, right, and learn as many words as possible. right? So I'm sure you are clear here with set 22. Let's come to question 23. Zenith is height. Okay, so this is zenith. You also call it peak, you call it pinnacle, right? You call it apex, and the opposite will be nadir. Okay, so nadir is the opposite. The bottom is the opposite, right? So worst is extremely bad, right? You do it like this: bad, worse, and worst, right? So what will we pick? We'll pick up C as an answer. Rest of the meanings we have already discussed. In case you would want to write the synonyms of zenith, you can please do so. Peak, pinnacle, apex, all these are synonyms, right? The top, okay? Germane is what? Let me write it for you. Yeah. So germane is something which is relevant. Okay. So the opposite will be what? Irrelevant, right? Indifferent, apathy, we have already discussed. Impartial, you are not biased or you are unbiased, right? So I am sure we are clear with this set. Just to get you the meanings right, let's quickly revise. Abridge is to shorten, तो opposite हो जाएगा extend करना. तो B answer for question number 19. 20th kindle होता है to bring to life. romance को kindle करना मतलब you are romance or anything to kindle the spirit of joy of giving. तो आप encourage करते हो. Opposite will be discourage, right? Meager is very less, very little, right? Handful, बहुत ही कम. The opposite will be copious, sufficient. Philistine होता है a person who is not having good understanding of the arts, right? तो opposite हो जाएगा intellectual, जिसको समझ में आता है. Zenith will be the top or the height. The opposite will be nadir, the lowest point, right? Germane is something which is relevant. The opposite क्या हो जाएगा? Irrelevant, right? So I'll give you a minute. Anything that's new to you or learning for the first time, please pen it down. I'm sure there must be something to write. So quickly do so before we move to the next set. We can move to the next set, please. So try this and then we will discuss. So let's start. Quiescent is something that is dormant. Dormant का मतलब something which is inactive, right? So the opposite will be what? Be active. Now let's see the meanings. Other meanings: lackadaisical, something that lacks brightness, right? Or is dull, right? So that also goes out. Pre and two words. Sai is knowledge, right? So prescient is a person who know things before, right? Pre is before. So there are a lot of words like, predict is another word that you can say, right? And sai ke saath you have this word omniscient. So omni is all and sai is knowledge. So omniscient is who knows everything. किसके लिए यूज करोगे आप? गॉड के लिए, राइट? और देर इज दिस वर्ड omnipotent. So POT stands for power. So omnipotent is who is all powerful. फिर आप गॉड के लिए यूज करते हो. एक another word is there, omnipresent, who's present everywhere. Again you use it for God, right? और एक वैन भी आता है, omni करके एक वैन आती थी. So this is how they are words that you can quickly relate to, right? So prescient is a person who knows things before. Sai knowledge है, pre before है. So आप आराम से खुद ही मीनिंग डेसिफर कर सकते हो. Lackadaisical is something which is dull. So quiescent का मतलब होता है डोरमेंट होना, इनएक्टिव स्टेट में होना. लेजी हो, लेथार्जिक हो, आप कुछ कर नहीं रहे हो. तो ऑपोजिट क्या हो जाएगा? एक्टिव. So I am sure you're clear with the first set. So you can note it down. If there's anything important, then I'll rub the mode and then we'll move to the next question. So I'm sure I've noted. Let me just clean the screen. Please write the meanings also. At times, I just try to, wherever I feel there's a possibility to teach you some more roots or words, I definitely incorporate. But please ensure that you're penning them down and also making an effort to learn words on your own. That's very, very important, right? If you're not going to do it, you'll be in deep trouble, and that we wouldn't at all want, right? So sartorial is elegant dressing. Okay. So homespun, spun होता है बुनना. तो homespun something that has been done at home, right? Sincere is honest, right? Cheerful is happy. So the best match that will go will be inelegant. So elegant dressing sartorial है. Sartorial dressing की term आती है जहाँ पे आप बहुत gracefully dressed होते हो. So opposite will be inelegant, right? Now when we come to sapient, sapient means wise, राइट? तो हंच होता है झुका हुआ, हंच शोल्डर्स है, मतलब झुके हुए शोल्डर्स है. दैट इज द रीजन इफ यू अटेंड एनी योगा सेशन, एनी इंस्ट्रक्टर वुड से यू कंधे उठा के पीछे रखो. दिस शुड बी द राइट पोस्चर, शुड बी नॉट बी लाइक दिस. तो मोस्ट ऑफ अस हैव दिस इनकरेक्ट पोस्चर, राइट? स्ट्रॉन्ग, सिंपल, abstain is to leave, right? So simple will be the best match, right? This is very interesting. So 29th is a lot of new words happening, coming your way. This is matutinal is related to morning, right? So you can write it wherever you are writing. Paternal is associated with father's side. Patri root father के लिए, okay? It's a patriarch society होती है where father is considered to be the head of the family. So patri is for father and matri root will be for mother. So matriarch where mother is considered to be the head of the family, right? या maternity leave लेते हैं, right? So all those words. So my paternal aunt, बुआ या चाची या ताई या maternal aunt में मामी हो जाएगी या मासी हो जाएगी, right? So crepuscular is related to twilight, right? तो ये बड़े न्यू टर्म्स होंगे आई एम श्योर आपके लिए, but in the exams they can come. So maritime is related to marine. Marine मतलब sea related, okay? And marsupial are mammals that carry newborn in the pouch. जैसे आपने kangaroos देखे होंगे, तो जब बेबी होता है पूरी तरह डेवलप नहीं होता, तो जो मदर होती है वो कैंगरू को अपने पाउच में कैरी करती है जब तक चाइल्ड बिकम्स स्ट्रॉन्ग, बेबी कैंगरू बिकम्स स्ट्रॉन्ग, राइट? So I'm sure you know the meaning, so it's very easy for us to mark B as the right answer, right? So for question number 29, B. Lot of new words. Please write all these words so that you know we don't forget them. Then we'll come to question number 30. So let's discuss. I'll just clear the board so that it is more readable, right? I'm sure you've noted down the meanings. Very important. Otherwise, if you do not note down the meanings, then you know the entire effort will become useless, right? We are doing it so that you know you get a better understanding and you know the questions which are frequently tested, right? Or the words that can come. So if you're not going to do that particular homework and you're not writing them down, then you know it's just wasting the effort. So that we wouldn't want, right? So I'm sure you've noted down the meanings, all the important ones. So let's come to the 30th question. So impecunious is when you are poor or without money. Okay. So of course it's an easy one. Wealthy, cautious is when you are careful, right? Hungry, you know. Tardy is something which is unclear, right? So just to quickly revise the given set, quiescent is a person who is dormant or inactive, so the opposite will be active. Sartorial is elegant dressing, तो opposite inelegant हो जाएगा. Sapient होता है wise, तो opposite हो जाएगा simple, जहाँ पे मतलब आप wise नहीं हो या चालाक नहीं हो. Matutinal is something which is related to morning, so crepuscular, something related to twilight. Impecunious will be a person who's not having money, and the opposite will be wealthy, right? So I'm sure we are clear with this particular set. Time to move to the next one. Please try it and then we'll discuss it together. So let's discuss. I'm sure आपने टर्म पढ़ा होगा एयरपोर्ट पे डिटेन कर लिया. तो डिटेन करने का मतलब होता है यू आर आस्क्ड टू स्टे, राइट? तो जब आप रिलीज कर दोगे तो उसका ऑपोजिट हो जाएगा. साइलेंस मतलब चुप रहना होता है. प्रॉस्पर होता है बढ़ना आगे, टू ग्रो. ओके, so you must have seen a lot of cards. You get this, that you know, may you be blessed with prosperity, right? Maybe may you grow. right? So in Diwali cards, we say, no, you have health, wealth, and prosperity, where you are growing in leaps and bounds. Forget will be bhool jana, right? This is an interesting one. 32. Famous is where you are known. I'll give you the meanings and you have to tell me what will be the right answer. This is your homework. So famous is known, right? Boring, you know. Obscure is difficult to understand. और untalented आपको पता है, right? So now it's your role to find the opposite, right? So do this and do some effort on your own also, right? So let's come to 33. Colossal का मतलब क्या होता है? A lot, okay? A lot या large. So the opposite will be what? Small, tiny, chota sa, right? So graceful is when you are, well behaved, appropriate, showing a lot of mannerism, right? So when you say graceful, you're carrying yourself nicely, right? So fluid को opposite क्या हो जाएगा? Liquid तो synonym है. Decent is appropriate or proper, right? So the opposite will be what? Solid. So I'm sure you've got this. कंटिन्यू का मतलब होता है आगे कंटिन्यू रखना, मतलब योर बिना रुके चलना. सो द ऑपोजिट विल बी पॉज. सो डी विल बी द आंसर. लेबर इज यू मेक एफर्ट, वर्क हार्ड, right? So the opposite would be what? Relax, rest. Okay. Strive is to again make an effort. Amuse is to be surprised. Right? So the correct answer would be C. So let's quickly revise the answers before we move to the next set. So detain is the opposite to release. The detain का होता है hold कर लेते हैं आपको, right? तो suppose किसी के पास कुछ illegal document मिल गया या drugs मिल गए या illegal you get illegal things for which you do not have the bill. So आपको detain कर लेते हैं. कहीं passport में problem है तो you are asked to stay back. So the opposite will be release. Famous is known. So I've given you all the meanings. You need to take it as your homework, right? Colossal is large. So the opposite will be tiny. Fluid आपको पता है कुछ liquid. So the opposite will be solid. Continue, carry on, and pause is to take a break, right? आप screen को pause कर देते हो, मतलब आप रोक देते हो, right? Labor is to make an effort, and the opposite will be to take rest, right? So I'm sure we are clear with the entire set. Please take 30 seconds to note down anything which is new to you, and then we'll move to the next set. So let's move to the next set. I'll give you a minute to try this and then we'll discuss. So let's discuss. Brawny is when you're physically strong, okay? Physically strong. So the opposite would be what? Weak, right? Swift is quick. Okay, so you know this, there's a car named Swift. So this is how you can associate. Swift is quick. Okay, so pale is when you are unwell, right? So B will be the correct answer. So clear, straight answer, right? Fickle is that keeps changing. फिकल माइंडेड है मतलब आइडिया को चेंज करता रहता है, मतलब स्ट्रॉन्ग फर्म फेथ फर्म थॉट प्रोसेस नहीं है, स्ट्रॉन्ग डिसीजन मेकिंग नहीं है, राइट? सो द ऑपोजिट विल बी व्हाट? स्टेडी. ओके, स्टेडी इज जैसा आप सोचते हो वैसा ही आप करते हो. सो फॉर 37 and 38 again we'll pick both A for both the questions, right? इनिप्ट इज व्हाट? इनिप्ट इज समथिंग, देखो एक वर्ड होता है एडिप्ट. एडिप्ट का मतलब होता है skillful, और inept is का opposite. So inept will be unskillful. Okay, so clumsy, you know, clumsy का मतलब ये होता है आप कोई चीज ढंग से नहीं कर पा रहे, राइट? तो infer होता है conclude करना. So infer is a conclusion based on the facts, right? Or foolish, you know, an idiot. And the opposite will be what? Competent, right? So the competent is a person who has got good skill set. So he is competent enough to win the medal. मतलब उसके पास अच्छा स्किल सेट, राइट? सो इनिप्ट का मतलब हो गया अनस्किलफुल होना. इनिप्ट का ऑपोजिट हो जाएगा एडिप्ट. क्लमजी, लेथार्जिक या यू नो टैलेंटेड ना होना या काम ढंग से नहीं कर पाना. इन्फ्रेंस इज ये इन्फर करना होगा, एक लॉजिकल कंक्लूजन ड्रॉ करना ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द फैक्ट्स. Competent when you're spirited and skillful and talented enough to do something, right? So lot of new words, lot of you know meanings. You can write down the words that are new to you or something that you find important. Then we'll move to the next question. So I'm sure you have noted. Let's move to the next one. So I'll just rub the board because then it would become a little messy. Yeah. So see, pivotal is something which is important. So this is a simple one. The opposite will be what? Unimportant. Turning means you're changing the direction. This is wavy, right? And cursed का मतलब होता है मतलब आप lucky नहीं हो, right? So the opposite will be lucky, right? Unfortunate. Cursed का मतलब होता है unfortunate. So this is the synonym. This is an antonym, right? Pious is holy, pure. Okay, so for 41 we'll mark D as an answer. For 40th we'll mark C as an answer. Coming to 42. So candid is what? Which is open. Candid conversation थी, मतलब बेबाक, बिना किसी झिझक के, राइट? सो ब्लंट होता है जो जैसा मन में आता है वैसा बोल देता है. वैलिड, ट्रू, या जब तक वो सही रहता है, राइट? Valid point, true point. Dishonest will best fit in. So you can see at times, you know, which option is the best one for you, right? So let's quickly revise the entire set. Brawny is a person who's physically strong. तो opposite weak हो जाएगा. Fickle, that keeps on changing. तो opposite हो जाएगा steady. Inept होता है जो skillful ना हो. तो opposite क्या हो जाएगा? Competent. Pivotal हो गया something which is very important. तो ऑपोजिट क्या हो जाएगा? समथिंग विच इज अनइम्पोर्टेंट या नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट. कर्ज हो जाएगा अनफॉर्चुनेट होना, राइट? ऑपोजिट क्या हो जाएगा? लकी. कैंडिड इज व्हाट? विच इज ओपन, राइट? सो ऑपोजिट विल बी डिसऑनेस्ट, मतलब ओपन नहीं है तो जो क्लोजली मैच करता है वो डिसऑनेस्ट करता है. ब्लंट, जो मन में आता है बोल देते हो, राइट? सो यू आर रूड, यू डोंट थिंक बिफोर स्पीकिंग, यू स्पीक योर वट एवर यू फील करेक्ट, और you just speaks what your heart wants to say, right? Negative sense में ही लेते हैं blunt को, negative context में discuss किया जाता है. So valid is something which is true, something which is rational. So dishonest will be the best match. So at times you have to see which is matching in the best possible way, right? So I hope you really enjoyed the video and you've learned a lot of new words. Please do keep working hard. And there was one question given as the homework. Please try to find the answer. Take good care of yourself and do help us spread the word. Thank you. Bye-bye.